What's up? BigH Trucking coming to you from Hometime. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Beautiful day here in the New York area, the Long Island, New York area. Absolutely smoking. Anyway, I'm just hanging out today. I just washed my car. Didn't get in last night till really late, like 4 a.m. Got back to the terminal, Pittston terminal, after being unloaded. Unload was really quick, by the way. Phenomenal job up there. Got back to Pittston, an hour to get through inbound. Prime, give these guys more money who do this, who service our trucks. You can't have two people working. I'm pleading with you, Prime. Come on. You can't have two people servicing both inbound and outbound lanes. There's no reason, absolutely no reason why you can't hire and throw some incentives around. I don't know what the compensation is over there, but whatever it is, you're obviously not attracting talent. I feel bad for these guys. You know, as much as it's inconvenience where I have to sit outside for an hour, it's the least of my worries. But every time that I go either inbound or outbound, if I don't hit it right, I'm stuck. I'm stuck behind somebody or something for an hour or so. My baby. 45 minutes. She's a good-looking car. She's a good-looking car. Anyway, so that's my rant. My rant is give these guys the money that they need to make it, to incentivize them to take care of those who need to be taken care of. Again, it shouldn't take an hour to get through the inbound, unless there's an emergency or a situation, which I totally understand. That's one thing. But typically speaking, by the time they go through the trailer, run their diagnostics, whatever they do, replace something here or there, it's over an hour. And again, from the folks I talked to there, they're not really being compensated fairly. They're one of the wheels in the machine that keep Prime turning. We can't leave and we can't get in without their having them to pass us through. So I plead with you, Prime, work on something, some sort of compensation where you're going to attract some talent. All right, enough said with that. So by the time I got situated, they're also repairing some concrete at Pittston, by the way, so anybody's going there. And it's causing just a melee of trucks and trailers. And for the life of me, I don't understand why every time I go to, whether it's Missouri, Springfield, Pittston, I really don't get out to Utah much, but when I do, there's always an overload of trucks. Don't understand. But everywhere I go in the country, there's Prime trucks. So people are working, people are out there hauling freight. But for somebody not to be able to find a parking spot at 11, 12 o'clock at night is kind of like weird. And that goes to Springfield too. Anyway, I'm overhearing this guy's conversation last night. He's a brand new guy. And he's bragging to his friend or whoever he was talking to on the phone that he runs 10 and a half, 11-hour days. This is for the newbies. Don't run 10 and a half, 11 hours a day. Don't be a hero, because you're going to end up having to do a 34-hour reset. You want to run on recaps. You don't want that truck to stop, especially as a lease operator. You want to keep rolling. I do between 8.5 and 9.5 hours per day. You want to keep your clock at the end of 8 days under 70 hours. Because if you hit 70 hours on your 8th day, you have to shut your truck down. And you could be in the middle of a load, a good paying load, and now you have to get it repowered. Don't brag. Don't be foolish. Run your 9 hours, 9.5 hours max. Plan your trips accordingly and be done. You know, with 3 hours left on your clock, you should be really starting to, especially as a newbie, you should start looking for a place to shut it down for the 10 hours. You don't want to, well, I got a truck stop that's 75 miles away with 3 hours to go, and it's 5 o'clock at night. And as a rookie, your backing skills ain't all that good. And there's 3 spots left. You may not be able to get into those spots. Now what do? One or two things. You either get it in there without hitting another trailer or a truck, or you're going to have to move down the road and now possibly run out of clock time and cause a violation. Be smart, guys. Take it from me, a guy who just went west, came back from west, all on recaps. Phenomenal time back because I run my clock 8.5, 9 hours max a day. I don't stop either. That's another thing. Don't stop. Once you get in that truck, other than having to stop and do your half-hour break or use the bathroom, and my suggestion is use rest stop bathrooms only. They're a lot easier to get in and out of, and they're a lot quicker than having to go to a truck stop and deal with the craziness at a truck stop. You need to make sure that you utilize every minute of your drive time driving down the road, getting to your 90. Because at the end of the day, you need to deliver that load on time, safely, in order to get paid. So don't waste time at a truck stop. Use truck stops only to do your resets and or to fuel. Don't be walking around aimlessly looking at CBs and sweatshirts and all the other paraphernalia that they've got there, because it's a place where you're going to spend a lot of money. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's just my advice. Listen, you can take my advice or you don't have to take my advice. You want to make money as a lease operator, you can't stop. You got to keep going. I don't stop. That's just me. I get in my truck until I need to do a half hour. I'm rolling down the road. So, because what's going to happen is you're going to run into situations with your truck as a lease operator that you're going to have to get fixed. It comes out of your pocket. Unless it's a warranty item, it's coming out of your pocket. Now, the latest situation that happened to my truck is I heard a rock bounced off my windshield on Saturday. I looked at it. It was just a little hole. By the time I get back into Pennsylvania yesterday, that crack has gone 7-8 inches up the windshield. What does that mean? That means I gave my keys to the gentleman at the shop and said, when you get an opportunity, my windshield needs to be replaced. That's about $300. That doesn't get covered by warranty. It comes out of my pocket. So for the last 2 months, and I hope this is all behind me now because it's really insane. My truck is like supporting a race car, and that used to be my hobby. I used to race cars, and that was just an open wallet spendthrift. That's all I'm doing with this truck is spending money. So if I'm not making that money, if I don't save that money, guess what? I have to surrender the keys or go in the hole, thousands and thousands of dollars. And that's not what a lease operator should be doing. You shouldn't have to be going into the hole. The only time I go into the hole is when I come home. But again, I have an E-fund to cover that. But you guys as rookie drivers, please, don't try to run 11 hours. You may have to do it once. If you do it once if you do 2 10-hour days in a week, you're fine. You can do the math. Add 8 days up to 70. Divide 8 by 10. Divide 70 by 8, and it'll come up and give you an average of what you should be doing per day. I've done the math. You can do 2 10-hour days, and after that, it's got to be all 8s, no more than 9s, in order to, keep riding without having to do a 34-hour reset. You do a 34-hour reset, That's a day and a half that you're not running down the road making money. That could be a $1,000 load that you're missing out, $1,200, $1,500 load that you're missing out on because you got to sit at a truck stop because you failed to utilize your clock correctly. So as a rookie, again, as your newbies are coming and upgrading, and because the trainer pretty much managed your clock throughout your training, you didn't do it yourself. You didn't put any thought into it, just like happened to me. I was left there out of training. I thought I knew everything, and when it came to clock management, I was in the gutter. It took me 3 months to finally figure it out, and a lot of research on YouTube on how to manage a clock correctly. Every time you stop, it's off duty. You bump a dock, it's sleeper berth. You fuel, it's on duty fueling. Then as soon as you're done fueling, right up to off duty. As soon as you get to the guard shack, off duty. Don't waste a minute of that time driving when you're not driving, because it would all add up at the end of the week. Anyway, that's the message for today. I'm going to sit back and enjoy my home time for the next 7-8 days. Chill out, recover, get excited about the next couple of months of running. Hopefully all the BS that's happened with my truck is way behind me, and I can just go out continuously make money without having to return to the terminal. Because again, Pittston is a complete madhouse. They're doing the right thing. They're fixing the concrete up by where the trailers are. That needs to be done. But in the meantime, it is a complete shit show up there. Prime is growing. The good news is Prime is growing, and they have outgrown that yard. No doubt about it. They have outgrown that yard. They need to look for better, bigger land. And if that means, having to leave that place, then so be it. Maybe move down the road a little bit. You know what? There's a recession coming. There's prices of hopefully land and all that stuff is going to come down. They need to buy 100 acres of land somewhere in Pennsylvania and restart from scratch. There's no more room. There's no more room. So anyway, with that being said, BigH Trucking is out. Stay safe, make great decisions. Peace.